What's up all you Marvel Legend loving dudes and dudettes? TOYBIZ here, and I'm back yet again with another Marvel Legends update. We had some new reveals over this past weekend at a couple overseas conventions. We also had the LUCCA Comic-Con and then of course Manga Barcelona. Salon de Barcelona, and some actually pretty interesting reveals. First and foremost, we're getting a new CROSSBONES figure. Looks to be a little bit more updated articulation, paint, and it looks okay. Again, it's another one of those figures where it's a redo, of course, and a lot of people are saying, well, we don't want redos, yada yada. But hey, you know what? If you missed them the first time, if you don't like the MCU version, well, I kind of like the comic book version better. He will be coming out maybe around spring 2020, around that area. Nothing is set in stone just yet, but the rumor mill is saying that, hey, it might be part of a upcoming Black Widow movie wave. And again, nothing concrete, nothing said, just pure speculation, but along with Spy Master, who was revealed last week. And in case you were wondering who Spy Master is, I have a new Who in the Holy Heck is the Spy Master video up, which I can link below and right here if you want to check it out. That's coupled with the unveiling of a new Winter Soldier. Well, we got the whole spy and S.H.I.E.L.D. and all kinds of espionage kind of wave thing going on. So, you know what? Hey, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Veiled was a brand new AOA Sunfire figure. This was previously a Toy Fair magazine exclusive way back in the day for Marvel Legends, but updated articulation, no more of those ball joint hips kind of deal going on. No word on accessories just yet. Also, a brand new, actually first to the line, we're getting a Wild Child figure from Age of Apocalypse storyline. And that's actually a very interesting figure to get, especially when noticing the chain right there on the side. Now, over at Manga Barcelona, a few more of these figures were revealed as well. So we are going to be getting a Age of Apocalypse inspired, full-on Marvel Legends wave, which is actually pretty cool. Now, the first one revealed was a brand new Dark Beast figure, and he's actually brand new to the Marvel Legends line, along with a Age of Apocalypse Jean Grey, and she looks pretty great. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Age of Apocalypse is not my forte. It's not my main knowledge point, so I'm going to have to be doing a lot of research as to who, how, and why these characters are. Of course, we grew up with them in the TOYBIZ days, but that's back when we used to buy these figures purely on the sense of, hey, they looked cool, or, hey, you know what, maybe that was just a different costume for that particular character. Nonetheless, Age of Apocalypse is pretty interesting, especially to come back to it now, really bringing the 90s back for Marvel Legends. So this will be a 7-figure wave, and as previously revealed around SDCC, we're going to be getting a Age of Apocalypse morph figure, hopefully with some multiple heads and such, so that will be pretty cool. It's an interesting morph. Not exactly my favorite morph. I like the more animated series bomber jacket look, but hey, you know what? It's always cool to get a different character. Also, X-Man Nate Gray, if you big fan of the X-Men. Everybody was wondering who X-Man was back in the 90s. He had his own title and everything else, so he looks great. I really like the whole cable eye effect going on. And I'll probably do a Who in the Holy Heck video on this. Like I said, I myself really need to brush up on Age of Apocalypse. Then we're also beginning a Age of Apocalypse Weapon X. In that particular storyline, Wolverine kind of went by Weapon X, kind of, sort of Wolverine. But if you notice, he's missing a hand, but he's still got some adamantium going on. They really emphasize the hair on this particular sculpt, so I dig that as well. Dark Beast, complicated. I really like the old TOYBIZ one that I have, but this looks like a really decent looking reuse of parts. I like the face. I like what's going on. He just looks sinister, and he looks like he stepped right out of the comic. So here's hoping that his partner in crime shows up eventually. We'll see, you know. Jean Grey also revealed in her AOA counterpart costume. That's really interesting. I like the hair. I think she stepped right out of the comic book. Again, you do the research, you learn more about these characters, you learn to appreciate the figures, and that's just, yeah, what I like to do. Sunfire, again, looks like he stepped right out of the comic book. They're really nailing it home with the sculpts and the paint. If these things look just half as good as what they're showing off, I think we're going to be in good hands. Hopefully it comes with some fire effects and maybe an alternate head, something like that. You know, we know we're going to be getting a Build-A-Figure piece at some point. But yeah, I like the flame effects and everything going on. Wild Child, he looks good. I mean, he looks like he stepped out of the comics. I think of Wild Child more as the TOYBIZ, like the smaller accessory type figure. So again, more research, need to figure out exactly who this character is in relation to perhaps Sabretooth, and more on him in just a second. But I like what they're doing with it, at least. It's a new character. Now, you're all probably wondering, well, who is the Build-A-Figure for this particular wave, this 7-figure wave that's coming out? Before we get to that, I want to address a rumor. A lot of people have been telling me, especially over the weekend. That's like why I wait to kind of do these videos. A lot of it gets lost in translation when you're dealing with these particular conventions on what was said, and, you know, you're over in Italy and Barcelona and things like that. So they were saying that the Marvel panel revealed, hey, there's going to be multiple waves of the Age of Apocalypse figures. That is, in fact, false. They did not say that, and I have that confirmed. So as of right now, just one Age of Apocalypse 7-figure wave with a BAF coming out in spring 2020. Now, another thing I want to say is that apparently I posted this photo, and this is just the backdrop of my review station. I have, you know, switch out cards and everything. I like to post this when doing the whole Marvel Legends, Marvel 80 years, and a lot of people were saying, a lot of news outlets apparently took the old photo and were saying, yeah, this is the Build-A-Figure, the Sugar Man, next to the Dark Beast. Well, this was just me having some fun, was saying, well, they have made these Age of Apocalypse figures in the past. I've actually did some videos, especially on the Sugar Man. It's one of my favorite figures from the back in the day, so you can check that out as well. A little bit of a retro Shiz vid. So I can honestly tell you that I don't know if it's the Sugar Man, but all signs kind of point to someone else being the Build-A-Figure, especially with that chain I previously mentioned in the Wild Child official artwork by Jerry J. Wilson. It could be, and this is purely rumor, a lot of people are speculating it could be Sabretooth and his AOA duds, so it's totally up in the air. We really don't know who the Build-A-Figure is, but the old Sugar Man, well, that's from 1996, and I do highly recommend him if you wanted to get that figure. So, that's going to wrap it up for the new Marvel Legends news. What do you guys think about these reveals? Were you a big fan or kind of more into Age of Apocalypse? I can honestly say, yeah, I was not really into Age of Apocalypse, but it is fun to go back now they're getting new action figures associated with that storyline, and then kind of learn about old properties. It always helps in knowing new characters and having that just a little bit extra knowledge that most people kind of tossed to the wayside, unfortunately. So, I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember, Age of Apocalypse is bat poop crazy. I swear. Go and watch Comics Explained. That'll help you out. That way, if you don't want to go back and read the actual source material and everything else, Comics Explained, highly recommend that dude. He is aces when it comes to explaining really complicated comic book plots. And when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.